Trey McBride got his contract extension. It's good news all around for so many reasons. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter, Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On Easy Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen free wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's a lot of cheese, man. Trey McBride got his extension. I was on an island. Why the hell do they do it 3 months early? I'm used to the Steve Keim time around, July when people get contract extensions. Of course, it was when I was gone. Good news, $43 million guaranteed over 4 years, keeping him an Arizona Cardinal through 2029. While it seems like a lot of money and the average annual value reset the market just under $20 million a year, it's only $40 million guaranteed or $43 million guaranteed over 4 years. Like, this is Monty Ossenfort manipulating the salary cap while paying a guy who deserves every single penny. He's been the most reliable option for Kyler Murray over the last 2 seasons. He is just scratching the surface on what he could be. And he had over 100 receptions and over 1,100 yards receiving last year. Like, this is something that is absolutely, no doubt about it, one of the most exciting moves for the Cardinals in many years, man. Like, in many years. You couple that with Budda Baker and James Conner, bringing back Calais, signing Dalvin Thompson, signing Josh Sweat. You think the Cardinals, you think Monty Ossenfort is still being lazy, is still not doing anything? I'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who can make that argument still. So what I'm going to do today, like I did yesterday, what are the off-the-field implications? I'll discuss that in the final segment. What are the on-field implications? That's the easy stuff. That's sandwiched in between. And what's the overall impact? So I'm going to kind of mirror what I discussed yesterday with Calais. Trey McBride, through every single interview, especially in the last 2 years, has said nothing but, I love being here. I want to be here. I want to be an Arizona Cardinal. And the naysayers immediately are messaging in the comments, oh, anybody would say that to get paid. Okay, I can't do anything for you. If we're going to be negative regardless, you can do that. Do it. Hearing that from a young elite player is something the Arizona Cardinals organization hasn't heard a lot compared to other organizations. It's just true. It's just true. Patrick Peterson requested a trade the second he could. Calais Campbell walked when they lowballed him. And to the credit from yesterday, they offered him 3-year, $30 million. He wanted more. He got it from Jacksonville. It wasn't the same contract. That's my mistake. Okay, that's my mistake from yesterday. Trey McBride loves being here. It's pretty cool to be the number one option as a tight end, especially because that's very rare. Few and far between. Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta for part of 2 years ago. Like, it doesn't happen very often. George Kittle's never been the bona fide number one option in San Francisco. 1A, 1B, 2A. Trey McBride's wide receiver 1 in a run-first offense. And the overall impact for me is this continues to build the blocks. Not just roster building, which is obviously the most apparent. It builds the blocks of sustainability, the culture, the strength of the foundation of players who want to be here, and that begets other players wanting to play here. We're seeing it. It's not fast. It's not overnight. This is the third offseason Monty Ossenfort has got to work, and look at what we're seeing. When things are done methodically, when things are done non-hastily, when things are done with a bigger plan in mind than just, oh, I got to save my job. These are the fruits that bloom. And it's a masterful last 3 years, 2.5 years by Monty Ossenfort. They haven't won anything on the field yet. That's fine. Like, I know that I straddle the fence with this, where it's like, okay, compare the Cardinals to other organizations when it comes to specific things. You can't compare the Arizona Cardinals to any other organization or any organization to another one for that matter, because every organization is on a different part of their journey. This is the latter. The Cardinals were broken and have been broken for 50 years, aside from a couple, a Super Bowl appearance in the late 2000s and the BA years for 3 years. Like, this has been a joke of an organization on the field pretty much since its inception. It's just true. And I know that seeing things done differently feels weird. Seeing things done healthily feels weird. And it's easy to mock, and it's easy to say, oh, no, same old Cardinals. Got to see it, got to see it, got to see it. Okay, sure. There would be no sports media if it was only reacting to things that have already happened. But reading, I hate using this phrase, but reading the tea leaves here, what Monty Ossenfort has done has painted a fence, layer, primer, first coat, second coat, third coat next year. And it takes time. And with Trey McBride signing the biggest contract any tight end has ever signed, while also not coming close to breaking the salary cap bank for the Cardinals, doing it early, not doing it after this season where it's like, oh, is he going to hold out? Are they going to franchise tag him? No, pay your dudes, man. Now we can just ball. Not a dollar wasted. And it's so team-friendly in the process. It's bananas what Sam Laporta is going to get in 2 years. He's probably going to get $3 extra million a year, probably $50 million guaranteed. Like, it's bonkers. George Kittle's up for a contract. He's probably going to get close to this, even though he's multiple years older than Trey McBride. So the overall impact is not only salary cap friendly, keeping your boy at home, keeping 85 at home. Like, you got to give kudos to Trey. Steve, that son of a bee. That son of a bee. What an absolute bonehead. What an absolute bonehead he was for trading. What was it? I can't remember what it was. It was the mid-20s pick for Hollywood Brown when Tyler Linderbaum was right there and they needed a center. And then drafting a tight end when they needed edge and corner help so badly and offensive line help so badly. You trade for a wide receiver and then draft a tight end. It's like, what are you doing? Blind squirrel catches a nut. That's the only thing I'm giving him credit for, because his track record, the other 98% of his draft picks that he's made, Garbaggio. Give him credit for Budda Baker. Give him credit for Trey McBride. Those are the only 2 picks I ever give him credit for. Truly. Because he traded up to the top of the second round, leapfrogged Seattle, who's going to take Budda Baker, and took him. He's like, that's the dude. We're going to move up and get him. He said that. Trey McBride fell into his lap, drafted him. He's been great. Those are the only 2 picks I give Steve Keim credit for. Kyler Murray, number 1 overall, unopposed. Doesn't matter. Nobody was going to take Kyler Murray, number 1 overall, besides the Cardinals. Like, Tyrann Mathieu, okay. Like, sure. Maybe. But, like, every other, like, legitimately, 95% of Steve Keim's picks were either the wrong position and or didn't work out. All of them. All of them. It's crazy. Got to give him credit. Blind squirrel catches a nut. Cardinals are thriving now with him gone and Trey McBride getting his contract extension. So the overall impact is a dude who has wanted to be here. He loves playing with Arizona. He loves catching balls from Kyler Murray. He got paid. He's a great, great, great football player, and he's so young, and he's only going to get better. Fantasy football fans, he will be tight end 1 moving forward, or at least in the conversation. You see Mark Andrews falling. Obviously, Travis Kelce aging a little bit. George Kittle is still timeless, but like, you're looking at, and it's not exactly the same, okay, because skill set's not the same, but just go with me here. You're looking at Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill situation here with Marvin Harrison, with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride is going to be wide receiver 1 until Marvin Harrison Jr. rips that away from him. He's going to have to rip it away from him because there's no way the Trey McBride locomotive is slowing down. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. The overall impact is massive. Looks-wise, aesthetics-wise, team building wise, roster wise, salary cap wise for the Cardinals. Check, 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 check. What does it look like on the field? We'll discuss it next. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked on Cardinals is brought to you by our friends at Chewy. You've probably heard of Chewy. They really do everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. Whether you're shopping for food, treats, or even pet healthcare, Chewy makes it fast, easy, and affordable. With over 100,000 products from all your favorite brands, Chewy has everything your pet needs, from food and treats to toys, beds, and grooming. And it's not just for dogs and cats. They've got supplies for birds, fish, reptiles, and small pets too. Chewy also makes it easy to manage your pet's health with prescriptions, telehealth vet visits, and even in-person vet clinics rolling out nationwide. AutoShip is a game changer. You can set up automatic deliveries for food, treats, or any essentials so you never run out. You can easily change or cancel anytime. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. Right now, you can save $20 off your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com or clicking the link in the description. Saving $20 on your first order with free shipping by clicking the link in the description. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked on Arizona Cardinals, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, leave a review where you listen to podcasts if you so desire. You know, I'm just happy that you're here. I'm not going to say, hey, go leave a review. I just try to put out a good product every day, man. That's it. Trey McBride on the field implications. Wild. Wild. And this wasn't, he's coming back? No. I mean, obviously he was going to be an Arizona Cardinal. He was going to get extended. It was only a matter of time. The fact that they did it before the draft is just checkbox. Don't have to think about it for the next 4 years. Boom. What are the on-field implications? One, I'm going to go backwards and then go forwards. I'm going to go just listen. So just listen, please, or watch my big dumb face. The fact that Tip Ryman's on the roster, the fact that Elijah Higgins is on the roster allows Trey McBride to not have to always be the pass blocking, run blocking, and pass catching tight end that he was during his first year and a half, which is massive. You know, a lot of people are like, why'd they draft a tight end in the third round? It didn't help. They could have done a bunch of other things. It was an FU money pick because they had 4 third-round picks, and they needed pass blocking help. They needed run blocking help, but Tip Ryman will be fine. I think him and Elijah Higgins can collectively play that Isaiah Likely role, and it allows Trey McBride to be more of a Jimmy Graham than a George Kittle, which is great. And for those, Jimmy Graham was a terrible blocker. He didn't block. He was rail thin, but he was elite. He was an elite pass catcher. And that's what Trey McBride can be with the help of his backup dancers and Tip Ryman and Elijah Higgins. I mentioned, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Elijah Higgins could have more of a prominent pass catching role on this team. He was a wide receiver, transition, moved into the tight end role. He caught the on the knees sliding back of the end zone touchdown against the Rams where Kyler Murray did the Steph Curry turnaround before, the ball was midair. That's going to benefit Trey McBride. Marvin Harrison Jr., second year, going to benefit Trey McBride. Hopefully an evolution of this offense where it's going to be, I know the pass numbers were higher than I thought last year, but a lot of it was dink and dunk. I'm talking more proactive, aggressive pass game. And the maturity of the other pass catchers will benefit Trey McBride. Trey McBride's going to be tight end 1. He's going to be wide receiver 1. He's going to be number 1 option in the pass game. And the best part about this is they've already cracked the code on getting him open. He was open all year last year. Everybody knew where the ball was going, and he was always open. The touchdowns, I don't know what the odds are on FanDuel for 10-plus touchdowns for Trey McBride. I don't know if it's a line that you can bet yet, but I would hammer that personally. I'm not a gambling expert by any stretch. I don't really do it, but 10-plus touchdowns, there's going to be an overcorrection there. The on-the-field impact is he's the most important offensive player for the Cardinals, not named Kyler Murray. And say, well, it's Marvin. They drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. number 4. Well, it's James Conner. Oh, it's going to be Trey Benson. Oh, no, it's Trey McBride. It's Trey McBride. He's the most important offensive player not named Kyler Murray. And I'm not taking off. I'm not Paris Johnson. Let's not get into the idiosyncrasies here. It's Marvin Harrison. It's Trey McBride because he can block too. He could be that dual threat guy that George Kittle is. He just doesn't necessarily need to be because they've got other tight ends to do that for him. He's only going to get better. The one thing, though, that you could see this year, and I've been right from time to time predicting things in the future, time to time. His numbers could dip this year. Like, he could have same amount of catches around, over 100 catches. He could have less receiving yards, but more touchdowns. I would gauge that. Like, if I were to guess, more or less receptions than last year. If I could push, I think he had 111 last year. I could push that. Between 100 and 115, I think is the range. The receiving yards could definitely go down, in my opinion. And I'll explain why in a second. But the touchdowns could go up. His receptions will be more important this year than they were last year because the offense is going to be better this year. There's going to be more options. They're not going to rely on him as much. And most importantly, in my humblest of opinion, Kyler Murray, one way or another, either he will or he won't. If he won't, we're going to have different conversations. I find this offseason, he's going to figure out. I know it's year 7, so stop. I don't care. Oh, it's year 7. Get rid of him. Stop. We're not doing that yet. We're not. He is going to be spreading the ball out more this year. I think it's muscle memory and kind of survival tactics that he's had to deal with during the first 4 or 5 years where it's like 2 players. You can throw the ball 2 players or you can run the ball or you can run yourself. He has so many options. He has so many weapons. He has so many opportunities to spread the ball around. I think you're going to see that, which will allow Trey McBride to have less receiving yards, but the offense to be better and Trey McBride to score more touchdowns. I think that obviously the beneficiary is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Could be Greg Dortch if they draft a wide receiver. Could be that receiver. Like, don't be surprised if his receptions stay the same, his yardage goes down, but his touchdowns skyrocket. That's the editing between quarterback and receiver. Numbers are numbers for receiving yards. It doesn't really matter. Touchdowns matter, especially for a tight end, especially with a guy with 6'5", especially with a guy with the hands like him, especially with a guy who can win one-on-one matchups. That's what I predict will happen. And irrespective of what his final numbers are, $11 million a year for a player like him, Monty wins. Trey McBride wins. The Cardinals win. What is the off the field impact about Trey McBride contract extension? We'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are almost here, man. There's only like 3 or 4 games left, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Like, you want to put a wager down on who's going to win the NBA championship? It's wide open. Like, OKC and Cleveland are the favorites. You got Boston right there. The Lakers are a couple teams down. You got Denver there with Jokic. Like, you can do it. So if you new player on FanDuel, place your first $5 bet. If you win, you get $250 in bonus bets to bet on whatever you want. Baseball's in full swing. You can do whatever the hell you want. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. Trey McBride signing a contract extension is massive. Okay, we knew it was coming. It's not a surprise. And, what's my quota? 2 smart things a month? Damn, we're at April 8th, and this is my second one already. Unbelievable. I'm just shattering records. When you see somebody every day, kid, sibling, friend, and you don't notice them growing up because you see them every day. It's not an exact thing, but then if you don't see somebody for 2 months, you're like, oh my God, man, you've been in the gym, you look jacked, like something like that. It's like that with the Cardinals over the last 3 off seasons. It's like you see them every day. So you see the growth, but it's not as like if I were hibernating for the last 36 months or whatever, 2.5 years, and then I come out from what the roster was at the end of 2022 to now, I'm like, holy crap. You've been in the gym, man. Like, that's what it is. It's incremental. It's little by little, reps and reps. Add a player, draft a player, develop a player, add a player, draft a player. And then boom, this year, the defense went from outhouse to penthouse, in my opinion. Not because they're going to be top 3, not because the defense last year was so bad that they were outhouse, but we've discussed this. I say smart things sometimes. The Cardinals' defense was not even close to where it needed to be, but it wasn't that far off to getting to where it needed to be. Both can be true, and we saw it. Josh Sweat, Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's 39 years old. Josh Sweat isn't the best pass rusher in the NFL. Dalvin Tomlinson isn't the best run stuffer, interior defensive lineman in the NFL. But collectively, those 3, paired with Darius Robinson, paired with Baron Browning, and Josh Sweat on the outside, obviously, and BJ Ojulari coming back from injury, and David Collins, we'll see, and then a full draft upcoming with a bevy of picks on days 1 through 3. Like, it's happening. You extend Trey McBride. You extend Budda Baker. You extend James Conner. You've got your pillars in place. You bring back Beach, the big fundamental. You bring back Evan Brown. We'll see what happens with Will Hernandez. We'll see what happens with Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams is still injured. He's got another year on his contract. I don't know if he's a post June 1 cut catch. I think that he'll be an Arizona Cardinal next year. But again, we'll see what happens with Will Hernandez if he's the right guard guy. If they're going to draft a guy in the first or second round to plug in at right guard or second guard, or right guard or left guard, or if Isaiah Adams is the guy, like, this roster's full. They've built it. And you've got 5 picks as of now. I think they've got a 7th rounder also from the Jets or some random team. But like, you're starting to see this and say, oh my God, this is a real team. This team has been in the gym. And adding Trey McBride with the extension there, again, obviously he was going to get extended. This isn't like, oh my God, it's the craziest thing ever. But they did it early. They did it a full year early. They did it early in the offseason, before the draft. Because you know what? He's their dude. He needed to get paid. They needed to pay him. And it worked out for both sides. He gets the most money on annual year average for any tight end ever. But the Arizona Cardinals are only paying him $11 million a year guaranteed. It's a banana sandwich. It's absolutely bonkers. So what is the off-the-field implications? It's kind of off the field, but it's kind of on the field. Going back to the same metaphor where, you see somebody every day, you don't see the actual changes because you see them every day. But if you don't see them for a couple months, you're like, oh my goodness gracious. I think the gym one is, oh my, you've been in the gym, man. Or ma'am, whichever. The Cardinals are starting to collect players that opposing teams need to scheme for. For everydayers, I've discussed this pretty much since the beginning, since 2016 when I took this over. The Cardinals have been a top-heavy roster with not many players to scheme for, that it had to scheme around. Because if there's only one dude, you just double team him. Like, it's not an actual scheme. It's just you put an extra body on him. You don't throw on Patrick Peterson's side when he was good. You kind of chip Chandler Jones. Larry Fitzgerald, obviously, in his heyday was different. He always got open. But, like, now, you look at this roster. It's deep, and there's a lot of players you need to scheme for. Let's just start on the defense, and I'll pivot back to the Trey McBride side. Budda Baker got a scheme for. Josh Sweat got a scheme for. Dalvin Tomlinson and Calais Campbell collectively got a scheme for. Garrett Williams got a scheme for. That's half of the defense. And that's just off the top of my head. That has nothing to do with scheme. That has nothing to do with Max Melton growing as CB2. That has nothing to do with Dadrian Taylor-Demerson maybe emerging as the guy, which I expect him to be, supplanting Jalen Thompson at some point this year. And hopefully Jalen Thompson is a bounce back year. If you got both dudes, cooking. Like, half the defense opposing teams have to scheme for. That's a lot. And then on offense, in no particular order, Trey McBride naturally, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, Kyler Murray, Paris Johnson Jr., probably Yelta Froholt. Like, that's half of the offense also that opposing defenses have to scheme for. There's no easy ticket when you play the Arizona Cardinals now. And sure, we have to see it play out. It can completely blow up in everybody's face, man. We don't know. But on paper, this is the strongest roster, 1 to 22 starters the Cardinals have had in 10 years, at least. And I'm counting the Carson Palmer years. That receiving core was not elite. Larry Fitzgerald had a career renaissance. Kudos to Bruce Arians for moving him in the slot. It completely gave him a third act in his career. It extended his career by 3 or 4 years. And getting paid $11 million by Michael Bidwell when when other teams would have given him like 3, probably didn't hurt either. We're not going to have the conversation on why Larry Fitzgerald stayed with the Arizona Cardinals and didn't go elsewhere. Okay? It's easier just to salt that away and not talk about it. On paper, this is the best roster the Cardinals have had in 10 years. And they're young in so many key spots. They've got all their draft picks pretty much. And they've got money to spend for years to come. Like Kyler Murray's contract, we're going to be in the, like after this year. So say they make the playoffs, say they win 10 plus games, make the playoffs, whatever. Say they win the NFC West, something like that. You're going to have contract extension talks with Kyler Murray. But the beauty of that is it's going to be very, very team friendly when structured properly. And Monty Ossenfort has shown that he's a wizard at that. They're not dumping money. Sure, they had to pay players last year. Nobody expected Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones to get hurt. They played a year and a half in a row without missing a game. I think both of them, if not more. Like, those weren't bad contracts, okay? The fact that they got hurt right away made it look bad. Jonah Williams going down like on the second series of week 1 made it look bad. But the money was right. They had to pay somebody. They weren't going to compete. Like, those contracts didn't impede the Cardinals from making a playoff run last year. All the contracts are so cheap. The Cardinals have all of the, young players still on the rookie scale contracts. So many of them, man. It's going to get serious very quickly, but we have another year where we don't have to think about that. Like Perry Jones Jr. coming up real quick. Garrett Williams coming up real quick. Garrett Williams has 1 less year of control because he was a 3rd-round pick and not a 1st-round pick. Like, it's going to happen very quickly, but they've got time also. So the off-the-field impact that Trey McBride brings coming back, while it's kind of on the field, is he is public enemy number 1 for opposing defenses. And you know what that does? Unlocks the rest of the playbook. Off the field as well. Like, you want a young face for this organization? Not like the face, but like one of like 5 or 6 faces. The dude is a model citizen. He's charitable. He loves being in Arizona. He's a great young man. That is a good thing. No problems. Off the field, another leader. Off the field, another guy who strikes fear in opposing teams. Like, there is nothing more important than that under the guise of when you're not between the lines, but you're Monday to Saturday, Thursday night football notwithstanding. He's public enemy number 1, and the Cardinals have him locked up through 2029. It's a beautiful thing. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.